The bitter feud between the United Kingdom and Germany has left a profound mark on the course of human history. From the bloody battles of two world wars to the complex political and economic dynamics of today, the rivalry between these two nations has shaped our world in countless ways. At its core, the relationship between the United Kingdom and Germany is a complex web of politics, economics, military power, and culture. It's a story of triumphs and tragedies, of cultural clashes and technological innovations, of bitter rivalries and unexpected alliances. From the epic tales of British knights battling Germanic tribes to the current debates over trade and immigration, the legacy of this rivalry is still being felt today. Understanding the history and complexities of this relationship is essential to appreciate the current state of their interactions and to build a better future for all. The rivalry between the United Kingdom and Germany has its roots in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, a period marked by significant political, economic, and social changes in Europe. During this time, Germany emerged as a unified and powerful nation under the leadership of Otto von Bismarck, the architect of German unification. Bismarck pursued a policy known as Realpolitik, which prioritized the pragmatic pursuit of national interest over ideological concerns. His ultimate goal was to establish Germany as a dominant power in continental Europe, which inevitably led to competition with the United Kingdom, the foremost global power of the era. The UK's dominance stemmed from its vast colonial empire, strong industrial base, and preeminent navy. Britain's global influence was unmatched, but Germany's rapid industrialization and economic growth soon threatened the UK's supremacy. Germany's newfound power and ambitions, particularly under Kaiser Wilhelm II, who succeeded Bismarck in 1890, caused unease among the British political and military establishment. Wilhelm II sought to expand Germany's influence and challenge Britain's maritime dominance, fueling tensions between the two nations. In addition to the strategic and economic competition, there were underlying cultural and ideological differences that contributed to the rivalry between the UK and Germany. The British Empire was built on a foundation of liberalism, parliamentary democracy, and free trade, whereas Germany, especially under Wilhelm II, leaned towards autocracy, militarism, and protectionism. These contrasting values and political systems further intensified the competition between the two nations. One of the key events that exemplified the growing rivalry was the Kruger Telegram of 1896, in which Kaiser Wilhelm II congratulated the president of the Transvaal Republic, Paul Kruger, for repelling a British raid. The telegram was seen as a direct affront to British prestige and added to the simmering tensions between the UK and Germany. As the 19th century gave way to the 20th century, the balance of power in Europe became increasingly precarious. The various nations formed complex alliances, resulting in a delicate web of relationships. The UK and Germany found themselves at the center of this tangled web, with both countries seeking to protect their interest and maintain their influence. This intricate system of alliances, combined with the historical, economic, and cultural factors that fueled the rivalry between the UK and Germany, set the stage for the tumultuous events of the early 20th century, culminating in the outbreak of World War I. The naval arms race between the UK and Germany in the early 20th century was a significant factor that exacerbated the rivalry between the two nations. At the time, the British Royal Navy was the world's most powerful maritime force, safeguarding the United Kingdom's vast empire and upholding its global influence. Recognizing the importance of naval power, Kaiser Wilhelm II embarked on an ambitious plan to expand Germany's navy, known as the Flottenpolitik, or fleet policy. The aim was to build a fleet that could rival the British Royal Navy and assert Germany's position as a major world power. The German naval laws, passed between 1898 and 1912, authorized the construction of a large, modern fleet, including powerful battleships, cruisers, and submarines. This naval buildup alarmed the British government and military establishment, leading to a sense of insecurity and a desire to maintain their maritime supremacy. As a result, the UK responded with its own naval expansion program. which included the introduction of the revolutionary Dreadnought-class battleship in 1906. The Dreadnought represented a significant leap in naval technology and rendered existing battleships obsolete, triggering a new phase of the arms race. The naval arms race intensified the rivalry between the UK and Germany, creating an atmosphere of mutual suspicion and fear. It consumed vast resources and stoked nationalist sentiment in both countries. The British public was gripped by Germanophobia, while in Germany, there was a growing perception of encirclement by hostile powers, including the United Kingdom. The intense competition between the UK and Germany also influenced the complex system of alliances that characterized pre-World War I Europe. The naval arms race led to closer ties between the UK and other countries with an interest in containing Germany's growing power, such as France and Russia. This shift in alliances further heightened tensions and contributed to the polarization of Europe, ultimately leading to the outbreak of World War I in 1914. The rivalry between the UK and Germany reached its zenith during World War I, 1914 to 1918, a devastating conflict that pitted the two nations against each other as part of opposing alliances. The United Kingdom, as a member of the Triple Entente alongside France and Russia, faced off against Germany and its Central Powers allies, including Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. World War I was characterized by brutal trench warfare, massive loss of life, and the introduction of new weapons and tactics, such as poison gas and aerial bombardment. The conflict took a tremendous toll on both the UK and Germany, with millions of soldiers and civilians killed, injured, or displaced. The war concluded with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which imposed harsh penalties and territorial losses on Germany. The treaty required Germany to accept full responsibility for the war, disarm its military, cede territory to its neighbors, and pay enormous reparations to the victorious Allied powers, including the UK. These punitive measures led to widespread resentment and economic hardship in Germany, fueling a sense of humiliation and injustice that would later be exploited by extremist political factions, such as the Nazis. The aftermath of World War I marked a turning point in the UK-Germany rivalry, as the balance of power shifted dramatically in favor of the United Kingdom and its allies. The harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles were intended to prevent Germany from ever again becoming a threat to European stability. However, the treaty also sowed the seeds of future conflict, as the German people became increasingly disillusioned with the post-war order and sought to redress the perceived injustices they had suffered. During the interwar period, the UK and Germany experienced contrasting fortunes. While Britain struggled to adapt to a new global order and maintain its empire, Germany faced a series of crises, including hyperinflation, political instability, and the rise of extremist political movements. The UK's primary concern during this period was to preserve the fragile peace in Europe and prevent the re-emergence of a powerful and belligerent Germany. However, these efforts ultimately proved insufficient to prevent the rise of Adolf Hitler and the outbreak of World War II. World War II marked another critical phase in the rivalry between the UK and Germany. Under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, the Nazi regime sought to overturn the Treaty of Versailles, expand Germany's borders, and establish German dominance in Europe. This aggressive agenda brought Germany into direct conflict with the UK, which had been working to maintain European stability and deter the rise of extremist ideologies. The early years of World War II saw a series of German military successes, with the rapid conquest of Poland, Denmark, Norway, and the Low Countries, followed by the stunning defeat of France in 1940. During this period, the UK stood as the last bastion of resistance against Nazi Germany in Western Europe. The Battle of Britain, a fierce aerial campaign fought between the Royal Air Force and the German Luftwaffe in 1940, marked a pivotal moment in the conflict, as the UK's resilience and determination thwarted Hitler's plans for an invasion. As the war progressed, the UK formed a close alliance with the United States and the Soviet Union, the so-called Grand Alliance, which aimed to defeat Nazi Germany and its Axis partners. The combined efforts of the Allies gradually turned the tide of war, culminating in the invasion of Normandy in 1944, the liberation of Western Europe, and the eventual fall of Berlin in 1945. The aftermath of World War II witnessed a dramatic transformation in the relationship between the UK and Germany. The unconditional surrender of Nazi Germany and the subsequent division of the country into East and West Germany under the control of the victorious Allied powers marked the end of the long-standing rivalry. The UK played a significant role in shaping the post-war order in Europe, including the establishment of democratic institutions and the reconstruction of Germany's economy under the Marshall Plan. The division of Germany and the subsequent emergence of the Cold War shifted the focus of European politics away from the UK-Germany rivalry and towards the broader conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union. The UK and West Germany, both members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, now found themselves on the same side of the ideological divide, working together to counter the influence of the Soviet bloc. In the post-World War II era, the rivalry between the UK and Germany shifted from military conflict to economic and political competition. The reconstruction of Germany under the Marshall Plan and the establishment of democratic institutions set the stage for a new phase in the UK-German relationship. Both countries, as key members of the European community, began to focus on cooperation and integration, while still maintaining a healthy sense of competition. The formation of the European Coal and Steel Community, ECSC, in 1951, and later the European Economic Community, EEC, in 1957, laid the foundation for greater economic and political cooperation between the UK, Germany, and other European nations. Although the UK was initially reluctant to join the EEC, it eventually became a member in 1973, after a lengthy negotiation process. As the European Union, EU, evolved from the EEC, Germany emerged as the largest and most influential economy within the bloc. With its strong industrial base, export-oriented economy, and commitment to the European project, Germany played a crucial role in shaping the EU's policies and direction. The UK, on the other hand, often acted as a counterbalance to Germany's influence, advocating for a more market-oriented and less centralized approach to European integration. The UK-Germany relationship within the EU was characterized by both cooperation and competition. The two nations worked together on various issues, such as the creation of the single market and the expansion of the EU to include Central and Eastern European countries. However, they also disagreed on other matters, including the extent of EU integration, the common currency, the euro, and defense policy. The UK's decision to leave the EU, commonly known as Brexit, marked a significant turning point in the UK-Germany relationship. The Brexit process was marked by tense negotiations and uncertainty about the future of the UK's ties with the EU and its member states, including Germany. While the UK's departure from the EU has undoubtedly changed the dynamic of the relationship, it has also opened up new opportunities for bilateral cooperation between the two nations, such as trade, security, and research. Beyond political and economic aspects, the UK and Germany have also experienced a cultural rivalry that spans various fields, such as literature, music, art, and science. Both nations have produced world-renowned figures and made significant contributions to global culture. This friendly competition has fostered a sense of national pride and identity in both countries, while also promoting greater understanding and appreciation for each other's culture. In recent years, the UK and Germany have focused on increasing cultural exchange and collaboration through various initiatives, such as academic partnerships, artistic programs, and language learning opportunities. These efforts have helped to bridge the historical divides and foster a sense of mutual respect and understanding between the two nations. There's no doubt that the rivalry between the UK and Germany has evolved significantly over time, from military conflict to economic and political competition. And finally, to a more cooperative and collaborative relationship. The post-World War II era and the formation of the European Union have played a crucial role in reshaping the UK-German relationship, fostering greater cooperation and mutual respect. While the UK's departure from the EU has changed the dynamic of the relationship, the two nations continue to share common interests and values, ensuring that their partnership will remain an important force in European and global affairs.